Society has taken a lot of men out there and made them feel bad for wanting to succeed at the level that they do. My job and my goal in the world is to rebuild these guys. You know, I felt at some point that I lost, and my past drove me to feel guilty. That I saw myself as this hard-charging guy or this risk taker. My background wasn't always the greatest. I had failed marriages, failed relationships, I had a felony charge, I had all these different things that were going on with me. So when I got into the business world and I started succeeding, as hard charging and as driven as I was, I felt like I had to hide, and I felt alone out there. So being in this place where everybody's pretending to be something that they're not, I lived a lie just like a lot of other men out there. And when everything tanked for me, I had to go back to being that person and be okay with being the person that I was really just trying to hide in the end. There's a lot of men out there that's forgotten that that's who they are. So that's why I'm doing it, and how I went about going across this is because I put together the things that I did to kind of help me get myself back straight, the things that I had put aside doing because people were wanting me to do one thing, and I was like, hey, you know, I'll kind of go do this, but I was an athlete. I was also an entrepreneur, I was a husband, I was a father, and in some of the areas where I failed, I stopped focusing on Victor. I stopped putting me in the front, and there's a lot of guys out there that stopped putting themselves first, and because they stopped putting themselves in first place and stopped fighting for first place in their lives, they've come in second, they've come in third, and they found that when they were successful, everybody was cheering their names, but then when they have a downstroke, the whole crowd turns against them, and then they're walking around with this mask on, with this veil, hiding who they really are at the core because they're ashamed. I put together the things that I learned, the mindset strategies that I needed to really strengthen myself, and I started teaching the other guys how to do that, how to take a stand for themselves and the shit that they wanted and stop settling and trying to play the game that everybody tells them that they should be playing, and start living for themselves again. That's what truly champion is about, and Unstoppable is just really an indoctrination of our ways of doing things, how we think, how we feel, how we play the game, how we push ourselves, how we bond as brothers, and then within that bonding we hold each other accountable to what we know about each other as our true strengths, so we go out there and we achieve the things that we said that we wanted to achieve.
It's Ethan Okura. I'm the managing partner and president of Okura and Associates, an estate planning law firm here in Hawaii. I saw that I had the ability to push myself farther physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually than I had previously thought possible. I was able to work out more consistently than I had probably in 10 years and see the physical results. And then on a business level, I also just got through doing a new goal setting with my office manager and setting targets for the new year and mapping out how we're going to step it up to the next level instead of coasting on the same way we had been going for the last 2 years. For those men who are considering joining the Champion Army, the Champion program, I think anyone who has the balls to do it can benefit tremendously from it. And it's not for the weak of heart or the weak of mind. It's for those who really want to commit to do the best in all areas of their life and actually accomplish things and be somebody. So for those who are on the fence thinking about whether or not it might be beneficial for them, that's not the question. The question is, are they willing to commit to actually create the results in their life that they know or want to be possible?
You know, Champion itself was truly about my journey, about turning my life around, finding who I was, challenging myself to be something that I had long forgotten what it was, because let's face it, I mean, when you're a man that's had your challenges, when you've been knocked down a bunch of times, man, it's hard to get up by yourself. And I found putting together a group of men that all wanted the same thing, that all we're like-minded in the sense that we all are entrepreneurs, we're all are businessmen, we all have families, we all have kids, who want to be the best us. It's tough when you're out there in the world, when you're expected to wear the mask and everybody's expecting you to be a certain way, that you can't show emotion, you can't be mad, you can't be angry, but there comes a time when you get tired of hiding. When we all get tired of lying, when we all get tired of pretending to be something that we're not. We all want to be inspired to rise to the occasion of go from fallen champion to the guy that owns that title again, to just be who we want to be. So for all my guys out there that are ready to get back in the ring and fight the good fight and wage war and win the battle of your life, I want to challenge you and also want to share with you that you can win it all. That you don't have to settle anymore for being less than you think that you are. So we can remind you, so we can help you become who you know that you really are by strengthening the man inside. So you can finally succeed and start winning again for your family, for your business, for the leader that you were created to be.
Be a champion. Like in life, you just make a decision to do something, and you join a brotherhood of like-minded people that want to do better for their families, do better in life, do better in business. And not only do you have that brotherhood, but you also have peers that you can bounce ideas off of, that you can challenge, that they can challenge you. And you do it together as a team, as a brotherhood. Growth happens, and you just gotta make a decision to do it. You just don't think about it. You just know that you wanna have more, you wanna be more. Who do you wanna be for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones? And you make the decision to do it.
If you're like most of the men that I work with, you're champion style, you're a champion-minded man. You're not a man that just likes to sit idle. As a matter of fact, if you're a successful businessman, then at some point in your lifetime, you were probably told that you weren't gonna succeed, that you were gonna fail. Matter of fact, also even within that, you were probably told, don't do this, you're not gonna amount to anything, you don't like listening to other people, you like coloring outside the lines, settle down, be quiet, don't say this. That's us. You see, that's a guy that's willing to go out there and conquer and fight for the things that he wants. The problem within that is that we do have our highs, we do have our lows. We try to have the relationship that we want, we try to run the business that we want. We try to go above and beyond the call of duty because we feel like we're called to be more. We can't just sit around and think that the world is not afforded to us. We believe differently than other people. You know, unfortunately within that, they also don't give us the opportunity to express ourselves. Like when we do fail, we gotta wear this veil, we gotta put on a smile, even when things aren't going great for us. Because unfortunately, we have to keep going. People are relying on us, and that's a pressure in itself to be able to walk in that space every day. You know? There's a lot of guys out there who feel and they doubt and they worry and they have concern and they stay up late at night questioning, asking God, what is it that you want me to do, because I'm doing all this stuff and I'm still not succeeding at the level that I want in my life. Maybe you're not connecting with your wife the way you want. Maybe you're not spending the amount of time you want to with your children. And for that reason, life gets tough, but you can't stop because you've made a commitment to go out there and keep doing you, to keep winning. If you are not succeeding at the level that you want and you're looking for something outside of yourself that's going to save you, brother, I can tell you that it's not going to be something that you're going to find outside. You're going to have to find your power where you are, something that's going to empower you to keep on going through the challenges that come along with taking on the title of being the successor and the winner or the champion of the things that you want to succeed in life. Without having somebody on your team or being around another group of men who understand where you come from, that road can be lonely, it can be tough, and a lot of champion men out there fall and they never get up out there in life because no one is there. No one is there to stick out a hand and say, brother, I got you, man, get up off the ground. A lot of guys fall on their swords out there, man. These guys commit suicide, these guys freaking get divorced, these guys never spend the time they want to with their wives, they fail, they file for bankruptcy, they lose their total fucking empire because of one simple thing. They forgot who they were on the inside. They forgot who they were because life got tough for them. So, if you're one of these guys that I'm talking about, if you know and you feel in your heart that you're created to be more because one way, shape, or form, you've already accepted the responsibility to be that person, and things have gotten tough for you, and you want to move on to the next level of play for you, whatever that is. Wherever it is you feel like maybe you've lost that edge, you aren't pushing, you aren't pursuing the purpose that you truly feel like you were created for, and maybe all these other things are coming undone and it's causing you to question yourself, now is the fucking time for you to do something about it. Now is the time for you to decide once and for all that you will be unstoppable, and that nothing is going to take you out of the game, and I want to help you do that.
Always like a self-reflection. So you kind of look at where your life is, and the question I ask myself a lot is this the most I'm ever going to get? You know, or what's the catalyst to kind of push you to that next level? And so the thing I appreciate about the champion camp is the other guys involved, and how it's not just you by yourself. It's kind of you with other guys all working toward the same goal. So it's nice to kind of have that support, almost like that team mentality, where it's not just one star off on his own, kind of nomad or solo. It's like a tribe, or that family dynamic of you want everybody to succeed, and if somebody falls behind, the team helps pull them forward and keep them moving. So basically, other guys that are interested in joining this, the support structure and the camaraderie you get, kind of the bond with other guys, you're all trying to do the same thing. And so with everybody going the same direction, I think it adds a lot of power behind what you're doing, because it's not so much, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, and there's no support or safety net for you. It's, this is what we're trying to do, and these guys are going to be here to support my efforts. I think one of the biggest pieces too with the champion camp is the 4 aspects, and looking at, you know, your business, but also incorporating your family and your fitness, and then your spirituality, and just where you're trying to go with things. And a lot of times the things that have carried you to success in one area, you can tweak to carry you through success in another area. So if you're a really successful business, but your family life is horrible, what made you successful business, and how can you incorporate those pieces into your family dynamic? So now that brings that area up, you know, and then those 2 pieces too, you kind of have to be a little selfish with your time too, and your own fitness, and making sure you're paying attention to that stuff. And all those things kind of tie together, and they're all kind of interrelate, and I think it's a pretty powerful structure and a pretty powerful idea that kind of push you forward and make you achieve greater things. Pretty much for men that are trying to come to this training and the championship camps, the aspects that you learn from this camp are powerful in all aspects of your life, and you walk away with something that's not just one aspect. It's an area that has a ripple effect through everything you do.
You know, personally, prior to going into Champion and being around Vic and the great fellas of the Champion Army, I was simply a shell. You know, I was a guy that wasn't fully in touch with his own identity. I was a guy that wanted to please everybody, even at the sake of myself. I was a self-sacrificing individual that really didn't gain much from the sacrifices I put out. My family didn't gain from it. My children did it. My wife separated from me back in 2012, and I've been kind of floundering since then. And I finally went ahead and sucked it up and got my ass down to the Champion Army. And the experiences with the Champion Army, I won't go into details because it's something that each of you all got to experience for yourself, because it's truly that, a life-changing experience. But who I am on the backside and coming out from the Champion Army is someone who has a greater sense of his identity now. And it's minus all of the seminar speeches and the need to want to have everybody be an advocate and a fan of who I am and of what I do. You know, I'm now a guy that coaches other men in a way that I could never see myself doing it before coming to the Champion Army. I coached men before I went to the Champion Army. My method of coaching men was about adhering to what they wanted, what they thought was best for them, and then how can I help fill in the gaps. And in truth, when I want to help somebody transform, well, the whole purpose behind that is that I need to get them away from whatever they think works and bring them into something that does work. So thankfully now, with the help of my brother, my mentor Vic, the other brothers with the Champion Army, I'm a man now that my wife knows who I am when I walk through the door, and she doesn't got to question, you know, how many different faces I had to put on during the course of the day. I have children, I have people around me now, though a smaller crowd, that are with me not because of my labels, not because of my roles. They're simply with me because of who I am outside of all of that. They've been able to join in and bond because of that as well. So again, guys, listen, I can't belabor it. I wish I can give you guys a ton of specifics about what you're gonna get coming out of the champion and go through with champion. But for each person, it's going to be different. But what I can say is that if you do it, you commit, you don't quit, you're never going to experience champion like after Champion Army. Whatever your definition of winning, whatever your definition of being a champion is as it exists right now, it will absolutely change.
You watched all the videos, you're already at the part where you're not just interested anymore. Now all of a sudden you become committed. You're committed to take a look at your life and where you are, and you want to move things forward and you want to join us. So, the first phase into that is going to be actually filling out an application to interview, to have a conversation with one of us, myself or somebody on my team. As we get into that conversation, we'll find out where you came from, where you are now, and where you want to go. And then we'll decide whether where you want to go is going to be something that we can help you do. If that's the case, then we'll invite you on board at that point only to make the investment. That investment includes time, money, and energy. It's going to take time. You're going to have to commit to do the work, and there's going to be a financial requirement of you to be able to join this movement of men that we have. Within that part, you're going to go into our tier 1 or phase 1 of that, which is our virtual coaching. So you will have weekly phone calls with myself or the guys on my team, as well as the men that's going to be moving forward with you at that point. Within that phase, you're going to learn the fundamental principles that we live by, that we're going to help you construct a customized plan for you to operate from and to live by during these phases, which will last between 4 to 5 weeks, all right? Within those 4 to 5 weeks, you will be getting results and moving forward, period. That is a requirement of you. Then after that, you'll move into phase 2 or tier 2, which is you jumping on a plane, packing all your shit and flying into Honolulu, Hawaii, and operating and living these standards that you learned in phase 1. Without understanding and doing the required work that's required of you to get the results that you want in phase 1, phase 2 will be hard as hell, because so much is going to be required of you to do that. That is the rub. Flying into Unstoppable, which is our 3-day live event, is really the Spartan Agogi of the modern day time of the men that enter champion. And during that time, you will finally see what it is to be unstoppable, to live as a champion man, and to start living your life this way of living that we call winning it all. The next step in this process of joining us at the UTC or joining our Champion Brotherhood is about filling out the application. And here's the thing about applications, is that not everybody that applies to join us or to take a seat at the UTC gets accepted. This isn't about just letting every man show up here. This isn't for the guy who doesn't want to play the game. This isn't for the guy who wants to just look cool or lie and pretend to be something that he's not, at the same time saying that he wants more out of his life. This is for the guy that's willing to show up for himself, for his life, for his business, for his family, to be a part of a group of men who also want the same thing. We don't just let anybody in. So the application to have an interview with myself, to get interviewed for you, is very, very important. I take it seriously, and I want you to take it seriously as well. So if anything that I've said has resonated with you, if the vision that I've spelled out for you and the places that we're headed with all the other men in Champion is resonating with you, and you feel called to want to be a part of this, to change your life, to win it all, fill out the application. Let's set up this interview time. Let's talk and find out if it's going to be a fit for you. Let's talk and find out if being a part of Champion is going to be a fit to help you win it all in your life. I'm looking forward to having that conversation. After you fill out the application, there's going to be a video that has some instructions on how you and I can best connect within that process of the interview, within the process of applying to be a part of our men's group, to be a part of this brotherhood. I can't wait to have that conversation.